Hey guys, welcome to Tech and Tuts, your personal digital platform enhancing education. Press the subscribe button if you haven't already and press the bell icon and never stop learning. Hey guys, welcome back to Tech and Tuts Python module, and today I'll be talking about sets, which is nothing but another data structure of Python. And before starting with sets, we must know about what is the difference between a set and other other data structures of Python. So unlike list and all, in sets we actually cannot store duplicate elements. Okay, that's the first point. And next, in a set, it really doesn't matter in what order you are typing in the elements or putting pushing all the elements inside the set, or in how it is printed out. So it does not match really. So I will show you how it actually works. So let's get started. So we need to declare a variable first. Let call it as my set. Inside my set, what you need to do is simply give this curly braces, and inside this you can give any element you want. It might be a float, it can be an integer, it can be a string, maybe text, and it can even be a boolean value. Okay, so if I print this, let's see what happens. Print my set. So let's print it. So as you can see over here, I have mentioned 45.6 at first, then 67, then all the other elements, but over here while it got printed out, the elements are jumbled up. So as I have mentioned before that the elements in what order you write in or type in and what order it gets printed is it's really not important, and it will not match, so you need not to worry about it. Okay, so in the next thing I will show you how to define an empty set. So in this set I have already mentioned some elements, right? So what if I want to declare an empty set? So if I say my set again, and what you need to do is simply write set, and you should give a first bracket. That's all. And then if you want to add some elements inside the set, you just need to write my set dot add and give the elements like 56. Then suppose you want to give something called maybe a float number 9.99. you can add something like a string hello and a boolean value as well. So my set dot add false. Okay, now if I print this my set, I should see all the elements inside this my set set. So here you are. Next thing that I want to show you is how to remove elements from a set. So my set contains all these elements, right? So what if I want to delete one element? The syntax is pretty easy. You just need to write my set dot remove, and inside that whatever element you want to delete, maybe 9.99. so if I type in 9.99 and then print the set, control C, control V, so I will keep the previous print as well to compare the values. So let's print it out. Now as you can see, the previous printed value contains the value 9.99 and the next one does not. Okay, so that's how you can remove an element. But there is another method through which you can remove an element. Is known as the discard method. So if I use discard instead of remove, let's see what happens. So I will just write discard over here. Okay, sorry, discard. There you go. The same thing should happen. Let's try, and there you go. 9.99 is not over here, right? So that's the two ways how you can actually delete an element. The only difference between discard and remove is that if you use remove and you enter an element which is not present inside the set, then it will throw an error. Okay, but if you use a discard function and you remove an element from the set, it will not throw any error. So that's the only difference. It's not that tough to understand, I believe. The next thing that I'm going to show you is another way of declaring or defining a set. Let's try that. You can write something like my set is equals to set, and inside this first bracket you can give a list of element like maybe 28, 45, a boolean value, true, and maybe take as a string. Okay, so if I print this, let's see what happens. My set, and as you can see, the thing is pretty same. It's not really different. You just insert all the element as a list. The next thing is you can also count the number of elements in a set. For that you just need to write the name of the set inside a function called length. So I will write print length. Inside that I will give the name of the set, which is my set in my case. Okay, let's try printing it out. So it's already printed. I have written it in one line. You can even store the my set inside another like variable, and then you can use the length function, but I have minimized the number of lines. So let's try that. So it says 4, right? There are 4 elements inside this list, 1 2 3 4, so it says 4. Okay, so that's fine. One more thing that I forgot to tell you, that you can also delete all the elements from a set at once. So for that you just need to write the name of the set, my set dot clear. That's all you need to do. So if I print my set after the execution of this my set dot clear, let's see what happens. See, it returns an empty set. So my set is now clear. It does not contain any elements. Okay, so that's how you can delete all the elements from a set at once. Okay, the next thing that we are going to do is understand some basic set operation that can be done in Python. There's not any difference between set in Python and set that you have done in your mathematics classes. So let us understand what is set. I mean, you all know this, but if you have forgotten, so let us recall that. So I have considered two sets over here. One is this A set, which is this total set, and another one is this B set. Okay, now if I want to suppose this A set contains a number of elements and B set also contains a number of elements, and if I want to consider all the elements, then I need to consider all these sets, right? So I need to consider all of these sets, I mean the summation of A and B. Okay, but what if I want to just I just want to get the like the common elements in the between the two sets. So for that I need to consider this part of the set, right? This is the common part between this A and B set. Okay, now what if I want to subtract B from A? So the remaining part will be this part, right? This is this part is also included in B, and this is all obviously it contains the elements in B set. So this whole part will be deleted and the remaining part will be this. Okay, now what if I want to subtract A set from B, so the remaining part will be this part. Okay, so this is the basics of set. Now this can be done also in Python as well. So if I do it in Python, let us consider two sets. One is the A set, another is the B set, and let give some number like 3 comma. Also I will keep some similar number between the two sets so that I can show you the union, I mean the intersection values as well. Okay, so 7 comma 4 comma 8. Let's see. Okay, I will also give 45. So now we will do some basic set operations over here. Okay, now what if I want to find the union of these two set, I mean a plus b, right? So for that you can write something a dot union, which is a function, and inside that you need to pass the second set. Okay, union second set b. That's all you need to do. Okay, so if I print this, let's print this out, a dot union b, and that should show me all the elements that are present in a as well as in b. So let's try this out. So this also returns me a set which contains all the elements between a and b. But one thing you need to notice that there are no repeated elements, right? There is no repetition of elements, because I have mentioned before that set does not contain any repetition of elements. So even though 2 and like 8 are already mentioned twice in this set, when we consider these two sets together, these elements are printed only once. Okay, another thing that I can do is I can also find the intersection of these two set, which is nothing the part in between that I have showed you before. I mean the common part between the two sets. Okay, so it's intersection, and then it's the same syntax that I used before. I will pass b over here and then try running it, and as you can see that only the common elements between the two sets have been printed out, like 8, 2 and 3. Okay, so another thing that you can do is like you can also find the difference. So if I write print a dot difference, and using the same syntax I pass the value of the second set and I print it out, and that gives me 956, right? If I delete all the b set from the a, I mean the common elements that are present a and b, if I delete them, I will get a. Okay, so these are some of the basic set operation that you can do in case of set, but there are a lot others which you can always try, and if you have any kind of question you can ask me. But basically these are all the things that we need to use in a set, and you can get all the other function of set by using a simple command. Let me use the idle for that. You can simply write something using the help function. So you can type help, and inside that you can write set, and if you press enter it will show all the function that are present inside this set. Okay, so you can use all these functions, and like the length function, the like or and there's lots more than that I have shown you. So you can also find if a set is subset or not, so it will actually return a value true or false in boolean. So there are a lot more that you can always try, and if you have any question you can always comment it down. So thank you for this. I'll be back with new tutorial.
Hope that video helped you in developing your conception. Give it a like, press the bell icon, and don't forget to share. Thanks for watching.